Welcome to the track. I just finished giving out all of our senior awards to our guys, and the track was open, so I thought I would talk to all 10 of you that actually watched this, and then hopefully everyone on our cross-country team. Seeing how we still can't all get together just yet, I thought I would do these little weekly videos to kind of give you tips on how to train during the off-season before we can get into this together once the school season resumes. Hopefully you can hear me in the wind. So just to recap, real simple: running, shoulders down and back, chest up, keep your arms at a 90, look forward, look where you're going, don't look down. It doesn't matter if you heel strike, mid-foot strike, or forefoot strike. What matters is that your feet land under your hips and you got a slight forward lean, because that's what makes you go forward. Then obviously get your 8 hours of sleep a night. If you weigh 200 pounds, drink a gallon of water. If you weigh less than 200 pounds, drink less than a gallon, etc., etc., etc. What else? Put your phone down, ideally 2 hours before you go to sleep, so you can minimize that screen time to get a better sleep, but we know how tough that might be even for myself. And that's it for this week. Yeah, what I can think of. Sounds good. And try and run 30 miles a week. And if you can't, then just run what you can and then run more next time. And it's okay to be sore. There's a difference between running sore and running injured. So the first thing I want you to focus on is obviously you got to eat enough, and you got to sleep enough, and you got to drink enough water. But what I want you to keep in mind is that when you're hydrating, that you're not hydrating for the day of, you're hydrating for the next day. So whatever water you consume is for the next day as well. And you should be drinking technically 0.33 liters per kilogram of body weight. In Imperial or American, that's if you weigh 200 pounds, it's about a gallon of water. So if you weigh under 200 pounds, then drink less than a gallon of water. If you drink over 200 pounds, then drink a little bit more. So after you've done a good job of, getting your 8 hours of sleep and putting your phone down about 2 hours before you go to bed to get a good quality sleep, and you're eating and drinking enough, the next big thing that I want my cross-country runners to concern themselves with is their total volume running each week. My more senior runners on the team will know that we try and shoot for between 30 to 50 miles a week at the very top end, while we're still doing our building our base in the off season. But we have a lot of new people on the team, so all I'm really worried about is that you're moving more than you did before. Didn't mean to make that rhyme, but essentially what we're looking at is if you can only go out and run a mile, then go out and run a mile, and then take a day or two until you feel good, then go out and run a mile and a half, and just keep kind of adding to that. And before you know it, you'll be running 6, 7, 8 miles in one session. And if you're not sure what to run, like how far this time or how fast, what I've done, and I'll include it in the link below, in our season info PowerPoint that we went over, so thanks all that made it. If you didn't, don't worry about it, click the link and send me any questions. Is the last couple of slides, I've actually included our summer running template. So you can use those workouts and in different levels of intensity to kind of determine what you should do. But obviously I'm your coach, so either in the comments here or anywhere else, let me know, and then we can work one-on-one with how much volume you should be doing. Okay, so now that you know you should be sleeping about 8 hours a night, you should be drinking almost a gallon of water a day, and you should be obviously eating your food. You know how far you need to be running. 30 miles a week would be absolutely fantastic. Any more, great. And if you're confused as to what, remember, just go click that link and I've got it broken down for you there. The big thing I want to focus on today is foot strike patterns. Your 3 parts of your foot that hit the ground first, and every runner is a little bit different. You got your heel or your rear foot, midfoot when you land pretty much flat, and then your forefoot when you land on the balls of your feet. Each of them have their advantages and disadvantages. The rate of injury amongst the 3 types of foot strike patterns are about the same, but what you injure may be different. So if you're a forefoot striker, when you land on the balls of your feet again, you're more likely to have an ankle or calf injury, as opposed to a mid or rear foot when you are more likely to have knee or hip injury. However, the rate of injury is still very low, but it's consistent no matter which way you land. One of the ways that we can run faster is to actually reduce our ground contact time. So depending on what part of the foot hits the ground first, depends on how long your foot's on the ground. If you land heel first on your rear foot, you rock through that whole motion and you're gonna spend more time on the ground, and you're generally gonna run a little bit slower, in part because of that. Now, if you're a forefoot striker, this is predominantly in the sprints that you'll see this, and even elite marathon runners will run at least 3/4 of the race on their forefoot. They have a lower ground contact time, and they can typically exert more force and power in a shorter time, so therefore they are running faster. So I know I talked a lot about foot strike pattern, but what I want you to be concerned is where in relation to your body is your foot hitting the ground. So regardless if you're a rear foot or forefoot striker, if you're reaching and your foot is landing well in front of you, it's actually acting like a brake and will slow you down. You want your feet to land right under your hips. So you want your shoulders down and back, your chest up, you're nice and tall, your arms at a 90. Your hands, don't clench your fists. What I want to see you do is just kind of take your thumb and put it on your middle knuckle of your first finger and then relax, right? That's how we're going to keep our hands for the most time. If you don't know what to do with your hands, that's definitely what you can do. And then look up while you're running, don't look down, and that's pretty much it.